Well, it happened again. I got another note asking if I want to sell my car. So I was getting a drink. I'm going to drink my drink, and we're going to talk about it. This is Coke. This is coffee. And I was honestly expecting more of a reaction. For every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. That coffee was not very reactive. So, because I know this is playing havoc with my green screen, I'm going to read this to you, of course. Hi, if you'd like to sell your Honda Civic, please call me. Richard. And it's a 951 area code. So, dude's not from around here. I think I had 4 people, maybe 3, want to buy my car last year. This is the first one this year. It's January as I film this. And, you know, my car, it's old, it's beat up, it looks like crap. And I always park in exactly the same space, and I almost never wash the thing. So I can see how people might think, okay, this car is old. But, you know, why would I sell it? It's very reliable, and I clearly have no other vehicle. And you know, if I wanted to sell my car, I would probably get more money as a trade-in than I would selling it to some random person. And the last time somebody came to buy my car and actually spoke to me, I said, well, I mean, how much would you give me for it? And, well, does it run? Okay, if you think this is a scrap car, you know, obviously you're not going to give me a very good price. So no. I believe my car has a market value of around $4,000. Which, I mean, you know, it's a piece of junk, but it's reliable. And the worst part about it is people come up and they lie to you. First guy comes up to me, he goes, I want it for my sister. I don't care. Seems like you haven't driven it in a while. I drove it this morning. Looks like you've been driving a different car. This is my only car. And then the last, it was like a car I used to own. Okay, I don't care. You know, people do this. I remember I had this one teacher back in the day. I know I've told this story before, but she got a ticket because she sold her car to a mechanic. She had $400 worth of payments on it. She sold the car for $200, and the guy says, I want this car for my wife. You know, it's like, you should have said, okay, well, I've got $400 left in payments on this car. You're a mechanic. Give me $800. If he said no, F him. I granted this was back in the 80s, but you could, I mean, it's hard to sell the car would have to be in really bad shape for it to be worth less than $200. People come up with this sympathy plea for trying to buy your car. My dealership did, well, I don't go to that dealer anymore, but There was a dealership I went to, and I remember, like, I got my oil change. It was the first time I'd gotten the oil change with this car, and I got a call from a salesman saying, we'd like to buy your car. We've got a woman here. She wants your car as a first car for her daughter. And it's like, what? That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. I mean, you didn't just call me up out of random and say, oh, I know someone looking for a 2011 Civic. How about yours? If I had talked to that woman, I would have said, tell her to go to the same place I bought it from because they've got another one. And I might look to see how much it would be for me to buy another used car. But that's the thing is, I'm not getting a new car. I'm getting another used car. It may be better than my old used car, but it's still a used car. And unless my used car is not reliable, there isn't a lot of reason for me to buy a new car. I mean, look, my last shift on duty, I was guarding this CBD oil place. And, whole thing smelled like tobacco. Really nice place, really bourgeois. And I just looked at that and I'm like, it's a really tight place for me to park. It's a really tight place for me to park, and I could scratch up my car. Why would I want a nice looking car if I'm just going to scratch it up? Now, yeah, okay, if I were doing really well financially, I would want a second car. I mean, okay, maybe I could get a more fuel efficient version of the car I have as my primary, but if I were buying another car, why wouldn't I then trade in my primary for that car, and then I would have another car? I mean, it's like if I had just money to burn, well, no. If I had $50,000 in the bank, and I didn't need to do any work on my house, because I do need to do work on my house, they've got these $10,000 little electrics that I would buy. And that would be my commuter car. All right? And I might get a nice car to take on dates and such. What that nice car would be, I don't know. Something, maybe a Mustang, or not something like super nice, but something nice, Might have an old car refurbished, something like that. Maybe a Cadillac, I don't know. I don't care. It's not really a big thing. But still wouldn't change the fact that if I were getting another car, I'd be using the car I have as a trade-in. So, I mean, if there were two cars in my driveway, I would understand people coming up here and bugging me. They'd be, oh, well, you got two cars. You might as well sell one of them. But as far as this, man, I hate these people. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Rockin'! I'm Danger Ducky, and I'm telling you, it's time to comment, like, and subscribe, because it's the right thing to do. Yeah, that's right. This channel's awesome, and you should be a part of that. So, tell your friends, and rock on!